Now, a size 6 model, a Vogue model, Coco Rocha, has claimed that she's been snubbed by London Fashion Week, which kicks off tomorrow. She says, "I'm not in demand for shows anymore. I've been told to lose weight even though I'm really skinny." And this is despite the fact that the fashion industry has moved away from size 0 models following complaints in 2007 and allegedly banning models considered too skeletal from this week's events. Designer Karl Lagerfeld has hit back, accusing critics of being, quote, "fat mummies who sit with bags of potato crisps."
And what's wrong with that?
So, should the fashion industry be free to pick whichever models they want? Or do they have a moral obligation, do you think, to represent women of all shapes and sizes?
Yes. Well, I think the thing about London Fashion Week, certainly for me, is I don't get it anyway, because everything I see on there, I think, when do you ever see that in a shop? Certainly not in the shops I go. I've never seen any of those things in shops. And I think that the fashion designers of those shows really just want a clothes horse. They don't want to have to deal with someone with boobs or with curves. They literally just want to pin the clothes on, off you go.
See, that I can understand, but nevertheless, all of those images go through multimedia outlets and they influence young people. I remember myself as a child looking at Vogue magazine, and what we didn't understand back then is they had 3 makeup artists, 3 hairdressers, and were probably airbrushed. As a young mind looking at that doesn't understand the concept of all of that work going into the image. They just see an image and clearly think, how the hell am I going to live up to that? Well, it is an impossible perfection that I'm talking about that I think, yes, you're quite right, I agree with what you're saying. Nevertheless, it's the access of these images all over the world, every outlet, every newspaper. It is very intimidating, and I think that we're not representing women of all shapes and sizes. That's my beef with it.
Do you not think it's just art? It's catwalk. It's glamour.
I wish it were just that, but
it is, because I look at that and I think Wakefield High Street, not. You know, but then again, that's where the high street shops come in and do a copy to fit women like us.
I still see it all over. You know, we have an obesity epidemic in this country, and on the opposite end of the scale, we've got a sort of eating disorder epidemic. We are obviously... This is clear to me that we are obviously confusing young women terribly. So it really is. I mean, that's the bottom line.
So rather than campaigning for well, it's not extreme, but for outsized models on the catwalk, which was one end of the argument, what about settling in the middle? Exactly. What about seeing size 10 healthy women on the catwalk? How is that not an attractive solution? Clothes still look great on a size 10 frame or even a size 8.
Well,
but we know that these women are healthy.
In the adverts that are on the telly now for certain high streets, they're our size.
Yeah, for high streets. But
But catwalk is a different thing.
But there are women still complaining.
Is completely... You would not be seen dead in half of it, let's be honest, because it don't cover anything. Let's be honest.
I suppose, Jane, the issue is that a lot of these catwalk girls then go on to do ad campaigns, which are in the magazines that sit alongside the high street campaigns that we read and do influence. I was hugely influenced by models when I was a kid, and they were my pin-ups, and I went on to have really complex issues with food as a result of striving for an impossible perfection. But these women were healthy. This is Cindy Crawford we're talking about, not some beanpole with skin hanging off her, because that's what some of these girls look like.
Yeah, but let's remember as well that there's some of these beanpoles, as you call them, who are healthy. They're at their healthy weight. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them strive and use extreme measures, but there's a lot of women out there who are very, very naturally skinny. There's nothing... I have a friend who, as much as we sit here and go, oh, it's not right, it's unhealthy, she looks terrible, she'd give anything to be a size 10. She can't get anywhere above a size 6. And as much as we all sit here and go, oh, that must be hell, it actually really is hell for her. I mean, she's very healthy and she eats a lot, but she just doesn't put the weight on. And I know it's, you know, I'm always winding her up and all of that, but it's a real big issue for her. And I think we have to remember that they're not all striving to be... They're just naturally skinny.
OK, well, both sides of the argument. Let's know what you've got.